What's up, guys? Welcome to brobeatz, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a beat out of your custom melody. With that being said, let's go ahead and hop into it. Alright, so with this video, what we're going to be doing is pretty much just tying up some loose ends, because in the last video, what we did was we pretty much made this kind of a realistic melody, okay? So now I just want to quickly go over just how you can just convert all of this into a beat. Okay, so I just added some sounds here, and then obviously we got some drums because we want to make a beat. So first things first, what I want to do is use this sound, and the reason I picked another sound is for different parts of the beat. All right, so if you want to have a verse or like a low part, so I just pick like this little sound. It's not the best sound in the world, it's just a regular synthy sound. Okay, I mean, we will add effects later. So what we're gonna do is actually take our original, and I just saved our original here, and we can just literally copy this. I'm not gonna copy this because I don't want those low frequencies, right? And we can put this back to green. Okay. And if you didn't see the last video, I'll just play the piano real quick. Okay, so let's go back here, and this will be kind of a low part. And if you want to be lazy, you could use something like this, because this structure will work with pretty much any sound you use, as long as you add the right effects to kind of mix it with the 808, right? So we have this. All right, very simple, very slow, very easy to rap to. So we need something like this, okay? And then what we can do is add arcade. Now I already pre-picked stuff here just so we can kind of run through this fast. So we're in a D minor, so I put it to D minor, and using this preset, not this preset, but this bank is really, it makes it really easy to kind of add that depth, right? So, you know, there's a lot of voices and like stuff like this. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna actually do one right now and just try to pick one real quick, okay? So let's go ahead. And we could just do something real quick, and I might fast forward through this a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna try to copy this timing over here. It's kind of hard to look at because we're in 16 bars, so this will be here. So it should, oops, maybe right here, and then we could just change the notes. Let's see. That's pretty smooth. All right, now that should be pretty good when we add effects, so we'll leave it at there. That is just adding extra stuff, and this is supposed to be something quick, right? Now you don't want to spend another hour trying to do this. Well, if you want to, you can, but this is just something quick. So let's go ahead and move on to the next part. Now we're gonna go ahead and do our 808. So all rules still apply as if we were doing like a loop type of melody, okay? So let's go in here, and you would pretty much still follow this. Now I made a video a while back on how to add other notes if you want to, right? You just use the method where you take the note, you make a chord out of it, right? And you can kind of get other bass lines. But for the most part here, we're pretty much gonna steal this, okay? And then just literally just make the same 808 throughout, right? If you just want this to be easy. Okay, and then we shift D, and then let's probably make this a little bit shorter. And then we could just kind of make our pattern, and I'll usually keep this very consistent. Okay, that works perfectly. Okay, and move that over, and then we just like add some variation over here. Let's do a little jump, and let's add a slide into this. Maybe a little slide on that too. Let's see. Okay, now that is our 808 pattern. So let's go ahead and move on to the rest of our drums so we can do the effects. And now we'll be doing the drums. So this one is pretty easy because obviously the mood for this entire beat is something very slow and kind of like sad-ish, right? So we want to follow that. We don't want to have some super energetic drums, right? And you can do that, but as far, you know, just to make it easy, I think it's just better to just go ahead and just make this simple. So I might fast forward through a little bit of this, depending. Well, I guess I could just make a short pattern. Let's take this and mess with these a bit. Let's go to pan it, and then we'll just pan these. Okay, I kind of like that little offset. So we'll just highlight this and Control B it, and we could just leave it how it is. Okay, and now we're going to put this on what, 32? Yeah, it was a preset you could just throw down. Let's turn it down. It's a little weird. I'm gonna just leave it. All right, so that's just gonna be our little drums here, and then we'll just put this at 64, and now we can go ahead and move on to our little effects here. Now quickly before we get on the effects, I do want to explain how to, I guess, beatify your melody. So what that is just making it work better with the beat, right? Because you gotta understand, like, if someone is rapping over this or whatever, right, singing, the melody is moving a lot, which is fine, but you don't want this happening the entire beat, right? So we're gonna copy this, and very simply what you can do is just take out the busy notes. So something like this isn't busy. I would just turn this down. Let's see. And I don't even think the velocity works that well with this plugin, but I would take all of this out probably, and that now we have like a low point. Okay, and that's if you were to just use this, and then we have another section where this comes in. That way it's not so repetitive. It's, you know, it's not repetitive anyway by nature because of how long the melody is, right? But you don't want to just loop this over and over, right? So I'll just play it. You see how smooth it is now, right? So in this case, going a little bit more simpler will be better. So let's go ahead and I'm gonna just show you some effects you can probably throw on just real quick to kind of make it all come together. All right, so let's go over some quick effects. So we have reverbs here, and the point of the reverb is to kind of push the melody in the back a bit so it's not so upfront and dry. And then on arcade, we'll talk about this just like, and these are just some things you can add to your vocals, but only thing you really need is like an EQ and some delay, right? So let's start here and I'll play everything dry. Okay, so let's go here and we're just gonna level this first. So for me, that's too low. So I will stop here when it's too low and then work upward. And I think that's good for this sound. And I will go a little bit above because when we add the reverb, it'll kind of widen the sound. And then let's go to our reverb, turn it on, and then we can work backwards. Okay, I like that. So now we're gonna EQ it, and I'm gonna just go through this one slow so we can go through the steps. So I start with the hard EQ and just move backwards. Now, when you reach this point, we're like, okay, that sounds okay. That is when I soften it up a bit, right? So this will be like a hard cut. We can soften it up. Okay, I think that is fine. So over here, same thing, just, and this is like my sound for my verse, so I would just solo this. And EQ. Matter of fact, we could probably do like a, let's turn this on. I think that's pretty smooth. So I will pan this a little bit and then pan this one the opposite of this one. And let's just mix it in. All right, and then let's turn these on. So we have a vocal bender, and usually you can just edit the format of the vocal to like make it sound slightly different, like deeper or higher. So I usually just do about 3 to 2 semitones, but you can go farther. But for this vocal, since it's so high pitched, I just went a little lower. And then the rest of this is just reverb, right? So this is just some reverb. I'll turn it on. Right, so this really makes it ambient. So I would turn this about half. And then this is important, right? So about from the low mid, if you have this, or I'll just pull the frequency up, right? Because it's 398 hertz to 2,961 hertz, right? If you want the exact number, but it doesn't really matter. So just to cut off the highs and the lows. Okay, and then just a delay. And I'll even boost this a bit. All right. Okay, so now we've pushed everything in the background and now you can arrange it, right? So that's gonna be it for this video. We spent a lot of time on the effects, but I just wanted to kind of go through that and tie up these loose ends. Okay, so that's gonna be it. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.